Tape script 11.31.1.
My mom and dad have owned their sailboat for 10 years. In that time, we have sailed together a lot. We have traveled to lots of different places. We have sailed on the Pacific Ocean. We have sailed on the North Atlantic Ocean. We have sailed around South America. We have never sailed on the Arctic Ocean. We have never sailed on the Southern Sea. We have never sailed on the Indian Ocean. We have traveled to Africa. We have visited Europe. We have traveled to Asia. We have never visited Australia. We have never traveled to Antarctica. We have never visited Canada. We love to sail a boat, and we want to sail around the world someday.
End of tape script 11.31.1. Tape script 11.31.2.
A. My mom and dad have owned their sailboat for 10 years. B. We have sailed on the Pacific Ocean. C. We have never sailed on the Southern Sea. D. We have visited Europe. E. We have never visited Canada.
End of tape script 11.31.2. Tape script 11.31.3.
A. I have met the man of my dreams. B. He has behaved like my best friend. C. We have been on several trips together. D. He has proposed to me. E. We have been engaged for 2 weeks.
End of tape script 11.31.3. Tape script 11.31.4.
A. I have realized that he likes me too. B. We have spent lots of time together. C. He has been so kind, gentle, and understanding. D. I have not met his parents. E. He has bought me a beautiful diamond ring. F. We have booked the wedding for next month. G. He has invited his best friends.
End of tape script 11.31.4. Tape script 11.31.5.
Have you ever taken dance classes?
Yes, I have. I've taken a lot of dance classes.
Have you ever danced in Siem Reap?
Yes, I have. I've danced in the Smile of Angkor.
Wow, that's a really good show. Have you ever danced the Apsara?
Yes, I have. I've danced the Apsara for years.
Have you ever danced the Snitonsai dance?
No, I haven't.
Have you ever danced in Phnom Penh?
Yes, I have. I've danced at the National Museum.
Have you ever danced the fishing dance?
No, I haven't, but I've danced the peacock dance and the Shilwa dance.
Wow, I'm really impressed, Visay. My cousin's a superstar.
Yes, I am. If you give me $5, you can have my autograph.
End of tape script 11.31.5. Tape script 11.32.1. A. I have had 3 accidents in my life. B. I have never had an accident before. C. You have become a bad driver. D. I have always been a very careful driver. E. This has been the worst day of my life. End of tape script 11.32.1. Tape script 11.32.2.
A. The accident happened yesterday. B. A woman crashed into my car. C. The woman got out of her car. D. The woman yelled at me. E. She was very angry.
End of tape script 11.32.2. Tape script 11.32.3.
How long have you lived in Siem Reap một day?
I have lived in Siem Reap province for 5 years. But before that, I lived in Phnom Penh.
How long have you known Pisay?
We have been friends for a long time. We joined school together.
How long have you been a Prince Sawat fan?
Since I was 7, I have listened to all of his albums. I saw him in concert last week.
How long have you been an athlete?
I have been an athlete for 6 years. I started when I was 8.
End of tape script 11.32.3. Tape script 11.32.4.
A. How long have you lived in Siem Reap? B. What day has lived in Siem Reap province for 5 years? C. She has been friends with Pisay for a long time. D. She has listened to all of his albums. E. She has been an athlete for 6 years.
End of tape script 11.32.4. Tape script 11.32.5.
A. I lived in Phnom Penh. B. We joined school together. C. I was 7. D. I saw him in concert last week. E. I started when I was 8.
End of tape script 11.32.5. Tape script 11.32.6.
Last night's celebration. Last night, Mr. Pirret was at a restaurant with Miss Mum and their parents. After dinner, Mr. Pirret announced his engagement to Miss Mum. Mr. Pirret stood next to Miss Mum. He raised his glass. He announced the engagement to both of their parents. He looked very happy. Miss Mum sat at the table next to Mr. Pirret. She smiled when he announced the engagement. She showed her parents her ring. It was very beautiful. Miss Mum looked very happy. Family experience. Aunt Sakna has lived in the United States for a long time. She has been married to her husband for 20 years. Her sisters have lived in England for a long time too. They have lived in London for over 20 years. Aunt Sakna has not seen her sisters in over 10 years. She has talked to her sisters on the phone many times. She has also seen pictures of her sisters. They have grown so much since the last time they visited America.
End of tape script 11.32.6. Tape script 11.32.7.
A. Mr. Pirret was at a restaurant with Miss Mum. B. Mr. Pirret stood next to Miss Mum. C. He announced the engagement to both of their parents. D. He looked very happy. E. It was very beautiful.
End of tape script 11.32.7. Tape script 11.32.8.
A. She has been married to her husband for 20 years. B. Her sisters have lived in England for a long time. C. They have lived in London for over 20 years. D. She has talked to her sisters on the phone many times. E. They have grown so much.
End of tape script 11.32.8. Tape script 11.32.9. I had fun yesterday. I got up early, jumped out of bed. I washed my hands and stood on my head. I jumped for joy and put on my clothes. I cleaned my teeth and rubbed my nose. I had my breakfast, brushed my hair. I packed my things and sat on the chair. I went to my room, opened the door. I saw my books on the floor. I picked them up, 3 or 4, said goodbye, went to the door. With happiness and joy, I ran to school. I got an excellent mark. My day was cool. End of tape script 11.32.9. Tape script 11.33.1.
A. They watched a scary movie. B. Anne Sokna enjoyed the movie. C. They walked beside the river. D. They talked about their future. E. He was excited to hear about the cinema. F. It was a good night.
End of tape script 11.33.1. Tape script 11.33.2.
A. Aunt Sokna went to the cinema. B. The movie started at 7 p.m. C. The moon was bright. D. Sam was not asleep. E. Uncle Panya told Sam about the movie. F. Uncle Panya and Aunt Sokna were very tired.
End of tape script 11.33.2. Tape script 11.33.3.
Sunday. Sam arrived at the campsite and cooked dinner on the fire. Monday. It rained and Sam stayed in the tent all day. Tuesday. Sam packed up the tent and walked to town. Wednesday. Sam played tennis. Thursday. Sam shopped for presents for his friends. Friday. Sam relaxed on the beach. Saturday. Sam danced at a party. Sunday. Sam traveled home on a bus.
End of tape script 11.33.3. Tape script 11.33.4.
I think I have had a very interesting life. I'm 52 now and I don't work anymore. I was in the army for 30 years. I have been retired for 2 years. I have been to so many countries that I can't remember all of them. I've been to Australia 6 or 7 times and to South Africa 3 times. I have also been to Russia once, but it was too cold for me. I've been married to Sokna for 20 years. I have loved her for 34 years. I've never been on television, but I've been on the radio once. It was a program about life in the army about 20 years ago. I've met the Prime Minister. I've also met a lot of famous people. I've traveled a lot. I've seen a lot of wonderful things. I have also eaten and drank some strange foods and drinks. I have eaten cat and rat in India. I have eaten kangaroo steaks in Australia.
End of tape script 11.33.4. Tape script 11.33.5.
A. They were carrying the box on a cart. B. Fateh and Levon were playing soccer. C. Fateh and Levon were pushing from behind. D. He was waiting for them. E. Mr. Pirret was unloading the glasses.
End of tape script 11.33.5. Tape script 11.33.6.
A. Sam and Pisai were delivering a box. B. They were taking the glasses to Mr. Pirret's house. C. Sam and Pisai were pulling from the front. D. Sam and Pisai were guiding the cart. E. They were all feeling very proud of their hard work.
End of tape script 11.33.6.